Load game. Load game.
We are back in the gloom and the doom.
Load.
So
Load
I think
slot
we
2.
ended up right
The
here.
walk to the church has
So
been
here we
pretty
go.
peaceful so far. The streets are quiet tonight, and we haven't passed anyone yet. Great, because I don't really want to explain to anybody why I'm walking next to a legless, floating ghost with a skull as a face. I take a closer look at my would-be executioner. He's hollow. There is nothing in that robe except green smoke, but that is nothing compared to the emptiness of his eyes. Empty eye sockets lit by some spooky green fire inside him. Fire is supposed to be hot, but his eyes are cold. I get chills when I look into those eyes. To be fair, I wasn't kidding when I said I've seen scarier demons. But he's still one scary looking dude. And let's not forget that glowing sword, that spectral blade as he calls it. When he stabbed me with it, I felt the pain of all its victims being channeled into me. And no bullshit, it was a lot of pain. How much death has this guy seen in his time? He must have killed a gazillion people. And it shows in the way he floats around like he's not afraid of anything at all. I really should be scared shitless of this guy. And yet, I'm strangely not. The only thing I'm feeling is the awkwardness of walking with another person. I'm not really used to it, because I'm a loner and I normally go everywhere by myself. And after the video store and alley, Skullface just kind of clammed up. Right now I'm wondering if I need to make conversation. Winona, aren't you afraid someone will see you? Winona, should we stick to the shadows or something? Gloom, mortals can only see me when I let them. One short response, and Skullface goes all silent again. We walk for another 5 minutes in awkward silence. I see a glint of something small and shiny in the light. Winona, wait a minute. Gloom, what is it? Winona, just give me a minute, okay. I rush over and hold my hands protectively over a little snail crawling across the sidewalk. Using my thumb and index finger, I gently pull at the snail's shell. It shrinks back into its shell when it feels me pull on it, and stubbornly sticks to the ground. But with a little bit more pressure, it finally loses its suction on the ground. I can almost hear a little popping sound. I lift the little guy up to my face to make sure it's okay. Gloom, what are you doing there? Winona, I'm putting the snail somewhere safe. Put it on the grass where it was headed.
Makes
I placed
sense.
the snail in the grass, on the side that it was crawling to. Winona, here you go, Mr. Snail. A little boost for you, Winona, now I hope you find what you're looking for. Gloom, why did you move that snail? Winona, I had to. Winona, it would probably get crushed by some jogger or cyclist if we left it on the sidewalk. Gloom, it's just a snail. Winona, it's a living creature, same as us. Winona, well, the same as me, anyway. Gloom, you're strange. Winona, says the cloud of green smoke with the talking skull. If Skullface was offended, he doesn't show it. We continue walking in awkward silence again. Is he ignoring me on purpose? Why is he so quiet? Are traveling companions supposed to stay silent? Or are they supposed to walk and talk, like on that show about the White House? I look at Skullface and wonder what's on his mind. He's definitely playing a game. Trying to psyche me out with extreme silence. Well, that's not going to work. I can be quiet too. I don't need to talk. I'm comfortable with silence. I've been silent for most of my life. I'm the fucking queen of silence. Winona, so, who are you? Gloom, what? Winona, like what do I call you? Do you have a name? Gloom, Gloom. Winona, is that your name, or a mood? Gloom. Gloom, it's what everyone calls me. Winona, there are a lot of rumors about you. Gloom, what rumors? Winona, you killed a lot of people, left a lot of unsolved mysteries. Gloom, they were demons and they all deserved it. Winona, people say you're the ghost of Elvis. Gloom, been called worse. Winona, so you're not the ghost of Elvis? Gloom, no, I'm not. Winona, Do you visit random people and sit on them while they sleep? Gloom, Crast, you ask a lot of questions. Gloom, you know, I don't normally talk to the people I'm about to kill. Winona, well, I'm about to die. Any secrets you tell me will die with me. Winona, is it too much to ask to know a little bit more about the person who's going to put me out of my misery? Gloom, fine, what do you want to know? Winona, why do you go around killing people? No judgment, I promise. Gloom, they're not people. They're demons. Gloom, I hunt demons. Winona, have you killed as many as everyone says you have? Gloom, I've been hunting demons for 400 years now. So yeah, there have been a few. Winona, you've been killing demons for 400 years? What? Is this like your job or something? Gloom, I'm atoning. Winona, what's atoning? Gloom, atoning it's when you do something wrong and you have to make up for it. Winona, what did you do? Gloom, something bad. Winona, how bad? Gloom, really bad. Gloom, and now I have to pay the price for my actions. There's a short break in the conversation, but I think he's open to answering another question. Are you a good person? Do you enjoy killing? Winona, do you enjoy killing? Gloom, no. Winona, you seem very good at it. Gloom, I am, but I still don't enjoy death. Winona, you're doing the world a great service by killing so many demons. Winona, doesn't it feel nice to help people by defeating evil? Gloom, I don't think you understand, I am not the good guy here. Gloom, I'm just a guy that's really good at killing things. Winona, I wish I can be as powerful as you, and shoot out a crazy glowing sword of doom whenever I need it. Gloom, what? Winona, so I can go around killing demons too. Gloom, no, you don't. It's phenomenal cosmic powers, but itty bitty living space. Winona, what does that mean? Gloom, it's from Aladdin. Winona, you mean that cartoon? Gloom, yeah, it's a classic. Winona, I don't watch cartoons. Gloom, old horror movies, I can understand. But this movie was from your generation. Winona, I just don't watch kids stuff. Is it that big a deal? Gloom, what happened to your childhood? Winona, what happened is I didn't have one. Winona, I just got what the grown UPS watched, which was action flicks. Winona, the closest thing I had to a kids show was Last Action Hero. Gloom, there's a lot of violence in your life. Winona, says the guy who's been killing things for 400 years. Gloom, well, I wish there was more that I could offer than just being really good at killing things. Winona, hey, at least you have that. All I can offer is killing myself. Gloom, it's a big thing. Winona, suicide and self-sacrifice, it sounds noble when you say it out loud, but I feel it's a cop-out. Winona, I want to do other good things. Gloom, you already do. You save snails. Gloom, and there was that customer with the sick brother that you helped out. Gloom, their lives are made better by your actions. Winona, it's different. Saving a snail and killing a demon is not even in the same fucking league. Gloom, you're right. It's different. Gloom, but it's different because you prevented a death, while I caused one. Winona, you've caused many. Winona, plus, it's just a little snail. It's not going to change anything. Gloom, someday you'll realize that the little things make the most impact on this world. Gloom, people like to celebrate grand events, like wars, plagues, and the birth of celebrity babies. Gloom, but grand events rarely change as much as lots and lots of little gestures. Winona, yeah well, I'd still rather be killing demons like you. Winona, all I do is try to kill myself, work at a video store, and play video games in my room. I cross my arms and look away, feeling just a bit embarrassed about how pointless my life is. Gloom, you play games. Winona, yeah. Gaming helps me kill time. Winona, what? Do you play games? Gloom, I do. Winona, holy shit. You play video games. Gloom, yes. Winona, for real? Gloom, I also need to kill time. Winona, what games do you play? Gloom, I like action games like Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Sonic. Gloom, they keep my reflexes up, you know. Winona, aren't those all old games? Gloom, they're not that old. Winona, they're all 2D and old school. Winona, it's the year 2000. It'll be 2001 in a week. Winona, we're all moving on to 3D games now, so you should let 2D go. Gloom, hey, some things will never die. 2D has more personality than ugly 3D blocks. Gloom, 3D is a passing fad. Once people get over the novelty of it, they will go back to 2D graphics.
Well, kind of in a way, he's prophetic, but it takes about 20 years, and it's mostly like indie teams that are doing more 2D, but you know, whatever.
Gloom, you just can't get good artistic details with a bunch of blocks. Gloom, and there is no better gameplay out there than what I've got on my Genesis. Winona, I know you're some immortal wraith and all, but wow, I just realized how fucking old you are. Winona, the Genesis is what I played when I was an infant. Winona, you have to get better hardware now because nobody will be using 2D graphics in 5 years. Gloom, new and shiny will never get you a better game than good old-fashioned design and gameplay. Gloom, it's why people still listen to Beethoven and watch movies like Clash of the Titans. Gloom, if the fundamentals are already perfect, you don't need a glossy wrapping to dress it up. Winona, old machines can't handle big games, and games are getting bigger and better now. Winona, with big open worlds that give you the freedom to explore and try different things. Gloom, but with all the increased freedom and choices, you no longer know what you're supposed to do. Gloom, sometimes, it's better to keep things simple. Winona, whatever you say, old timer. Keep clinging onto the past like it's a walking stick. Winona, yell at the future to get off your lawn. Gloom, hey, you're the one with no childhood. I'm just about to retort when we arrive at the church. Winona, okay, we're here. Let's finish this later. The church we're at is a small neighborhood church that I sometimes visit when I need to get away. I usually feel a bit awkward visiting because I don't really believe in any religion. At least, not enough to practice. But I like the idea of going to a church. Do you ever get that? Where you like the idea of something better than actually doing it?
Yeah, I kind of relate to that a little bit.
Gloom stares at the church. I wonder if there's something wrong. My people skills suck enough as it is, but it's even harder to read someone without a face. Winona, will
Don't
this
have any
church
good
do?
examples on hand, but whatever.
Gloom, it'll do. Gloom, are you ready to do this? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Winona, yes, let's go in. Gloom, okay. He starts floating towards the church doors, but I suddenly remember something. Winona, wait. Winona, will you catch on fire or something? Is it going to hurt you if you enter a church? Gloom looks at the church. Gloom, a little. But it's not a physical pain. Gloom, the pain comes from an emptiness inside. I'm not sure if you understand what I mean. Winona, actually, I think I do. He stops at the door and gives it a push. But the door doesn't open. Gloom, it's locked. Winona, do locked doors always stop you? Gloom, okay kid, can you shapeshift into smoke and then seep in through the cracks? Winona, well, no. Gloom, so I'm going to have to open these doors for you then, won't I? Gloom, I can either cut them open with my spectral blade or force them open with my hate blast. Winona, what the fuck is a hate blast? Gloom, it's a projection of concentrated hate, resulting in a blast of psychokinetic force. Winona. Gloom, basically, I get pissed off at things and then they get knocked around or they break. Winona, so much rage. Gloom, after I kill you, I will behead you and stake your head to a Pac-Man machine. I hold my hands up in mock surrender. Winona, okay, I'm backing off. Gloom, so kid, how do you want me to open the door? Hate blast.
Hate blast.
Winona, I guess
I think
use your
there's an
hate
achievement
blast.
you can get if
You don't have to cut the
hate
doors
blast
down.
people through windows.
Gloom, I'll try to be gentle. Gloom uses his hate blast to force open the church doors. The doors swing open, causing a loud boom and creating a huge dust cloud. That must be the same power that he used to knock me down at the old house. When the dust clears, I see Gloom waiting in front of the doors, just a little hesitant to go in. Gloom, let's go. Winona, let's. The two of you enter the church. Churches. When a person has been to as many of them as you have, they'll soon realize churches are all the same. Always empty, dark, and cold. But then again, you only ever visit them in the middle of the night. It's probably different during the day when they're filled with people. Maybe you wouldn't feel so alone if you were physically around other people equally as lost as you are. You look up at the large crucifix and wonder if the guy upstairs is watching you right now. Gloom, this is the last one. You'd better let me return after this. You look at Winona. She's studying the church, examining the pews and the ceiling. At first you assume that she's just curious, like maybe she's not the church type or because she's never seen a church at night. Then you remember, this is where she's going to die. Winona, all the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. Gloom, what did you say? Winona, nothing. I was just reminded of a song, that's all. Gloom, you're singing California Dreaming, right? Winona, duh. Gloom, you like old music. Winona, not all of it. But I like Van Morrison, Creedence Clearwater, some of those tunes. Gloom, I like those bands too. I thought kids your age only listened to boy bands though. Winona, Todd is a bit of a dick, but because of him, I listen to better music than the other kids in school. Gloom, Todd's your father? Winona, foster father. My real parents died when I was really young. Gloom, oh. Winona, yeah well, it was a while ago. Winona, so, are we going to do this? Gloom, so, are you feeling anything unusual in here? Any pain? Winona, no. Maybe a little cold. Winona, should I be feeling something else? Gloom, I'm not sure. Winona, I thought you've done this before. Gloom, I didn't really have time to give the giant demon a medical examination while I was fighting it. Winona, whatever. Winona, save. Save slot 3.
I think I accidentally resized the window a little bit. Let me make sure that it still fits on the thing.
Save.
Okay, good
Save.
enough.
Return. Winona, whatever. Prepare to kill her. You summon your spectral blade. Gloom, any last words? Winona, don't stop till I'm dead. Gloom, okay. You raise your blade and drive it straight into her forehead. FWAKOOM. Suddenly, there's a massive white explosion and you feel like your mind is torn apart. The next thing you know, you're in a strange bright place. Gloom, it's quiet here. Peaceful. Gloom, seems like a nice place. You see a man and a woman that you don't recognize. Gloom, who are these people? Gloom, they look pretty happy though. Gloom, and the woman, she's beautiful. Gloom, that smile of hers lights up the whole place. The man and woman walk past you. The man looks at you and nods as he passes, but the woman doesn't notice you at all. Gloom, he can see me. Woman, can you show me how you do that trick? The man reaches over, gently tucks a strand of her brown hair over her ear, and pulls out a dove. The woman screams in shock, before laughing in delight. She throws her arms around his neck, and they spin into a dance. He kisses her face and head, and she seems to glow as the couple fades away. Gloom, what is all this? Gloom, what's happening? The couple reappears, but her glow has faded. They're still doing the same things they did in the previous vision, trying to physically maintain that closeness. But there's something off. They don't even look each other in the eyes anymore. Woman, I don't understand why you have to do this. Man, it's the right thing to do. Woman, I don't think it is. Man, someone has to do it. Woman, but why does it have to be you? Woman, you're going to risk everything we have. Woman, turn your back on me and our friends. Woman, just because you want to be a hero. Man, it's not about that at all. Man, I'm doing this because I'll regret it if I don't. Woman, why? Man, I will not be happy with myself if I didn't fight for something I believe in. Woman, why don't you give up the fighting? Woman, you'll never find peace by righting all the wrongs in the world. Man, why don't you come with me? Man, we can do this together. Woman, no, I don't agree with what you want to do. Woman, and I don't think I can forgive you if you proceed. Woman, this is wrong. Please understand that it's wrong. Woman, I've never stopped you from doing anything before. Man, no. No, you haven't. Man, but you've never really supported or encouraged me either. Woman, what was I supposed to do, other than let you do it? Man, you tolerated my job, you never really accepted it. Man, but it's more than just my job. I do what I do because it's who I am. Woman, you can find something else to do. Man, if I don't do this, I won't really be me. Woman, please don't do this. Man, The man looks at you, as if he's asking for your advice.
Huh.
Nod your head. Shake your head. Nod your head. Shake your head. The man looks at you, as if he's, nod your head. You give him a single, slow nod. The man nods back. Man, this is something bigger than us. Man, I need to do this. The man and woman continue walking away in silence. Occasionally, you catch the woman stealing a glance at the man. Does she still have hope for them? A fit of panic suddenly grips you. You are overcome with the dread that something bad is going to happen soon. Gloom, stop. Gloom, I need to get out of here. But you can't. You can't even feel your body right now. Do you even have a body anymore? The man reappears, but this time he's alone. He's standing on the edge of something, maybe it's a cliff, or a tall ledge. Whatever it is, he's on the edge of a dark abyss. Gloom, what are you doing? The man looks over to you and smiles. Gloom, no wait. Before you can stop him, he jumps into the abyss. The next thing you know, you're back in the church again. Your head is pounding, and you're so weak you're barely able to keep your body from collapsing into smoke. Gloom, ugh. What was that? Who were those people? It felt like a David Lynch movie. You look around and see Winona lying on the floor, also clutching her head in agony. Gloom, Winona, are you okay? Winona, yeah, I'm okay. Winona, I feel like I got headbutted by a rhino though. Winona, which means I'm still alive. Gloom, yeah, you're alive. Winona, I thought you said you could kill super demons in a church. Winona crawls onto her hands and knees and climbs onto a pew. She sits and looks over at you. Winona, shit sticks. Gloom, you look messed up. Winona, I thought I'm the one that's getting killed. You pull yourself together and get up off the ground. As you regain your strength, you are able to keep your body more corporeal again. Winona, what was that big explosion? Is that normal? Gloom, I don't know. Winona, was it loud? Or was it just my head? Gloom, I'm not sure. When the ringing in your head starts to clear, you can make out police sirens in the area. And they're coming closer. Gloom, I think that explosion wasn't just in our heads. Gloom, the police have been alerted and they're coming this way. Winona, shit, what do we do? Gloom, we get out of here. You take her and rush outside the church. Winona, where are we going? You look around for a tall building. Gloom, are you okay to go somewhere quickly? Winona, I think so. Gloom, take my hand. You hold out your hand to her. After a brief moment of consideration, Winona reaches out and grasps your hand firmly. Winona, I can still cross the road by myself, you know. I'm a little hurt but I'm not 5 years old. You ignore her remark. Gloom, hold tight. Winona, sure. You pull her close and carry her in both arms, and then you leap onto the rooftop of the tall building. Winona, or... Okay, so I'm flying uncontrollably through the air. Not exactly a new sensation since I've jumped off tall buildings quite a few times before. But this is the first time I'm going up. Winona, Winona, this is so awesome. But what goes up must come down, and now I'm falling pretty fucking fast. Winona, holy shit. I expected to crash hard onto the roof and break all my bones. But the landing was actually pretty soft. Gloom gently puts me down, and my knees wobble a bit. Winona, dude, that was so fucking cutting. Winona, I didn't know you could fly. Gloom, I can't fly anymore. Gloom, that was more like a big leap. Winona, it's still pretty awesome, that's what it is. Winona, my knees are still shaking. Gloom, take a seat. We can rest up here for a while. That's a good idea, so I head over to a comfortable spot and plant my butt down. Gloom hovers just behind me. I guess when you don't have legs, you don't really sit much. Is it comfortable, floating all the time? How does that work, anyway? Probably a dumb question to ask since he's a wraith. He probably exists under a different set of physics. Winona, how high up do you think we are? Gloom, maybe 20 floors? Gloom, are you afraid of heights? Winona, I used to be. Then I realized I can survive high falls. Winona, 20 floors is nothing. I've survived much taller drops. Gloom, does it hurt? Winona, like getting hit by a train. Winona, and I know this because I've literally been hit by a train before. Gloom looks at me. But I can't read what he's thinking. Winona, do you feel pain? Gloom, I don't really feel much of anything anymore. Winona, I guess that sucks too. Gloom, how many times have you tried to kill yourself? Winona, a lot. I get into these creative moods sometimes where I think up new ways to try, and then I just do it. Gloom, have you tried to do something other than killing yourself? Winona, dude, of course. You think suicide was my first option? Winona, I tried religion, different types of yoga, vegan diets, but I never got anywhere with them.
The word vegan, I don't really think that was in use too much back in 2000, but whatever.
Winona, no matter what I did,
vegetarian
nothing changed.
At that time, but...
You ever feel that way? Gloom, every day. Winona, I wish my nightmares would go away. Gloom, maybe one of those ideas actually worked, and the nightmares are just a residual symptom. Winona, my curse is not an STD. Winona, besides, there's too much at risk here. Way too many people that can get hurt. Winona, I have to kill myself. Like Ripley says, it's the only way to be sure. Gloom, how do you deal with the pain? How do you keep going? Winona, I just suck it up and take the pain. Winona, at first, I thought it was punishment for trying to kill myself. Winona, but now I think it's punishment for failing to kill myself. Winona, so I keep trying. I have to. Gloom, Gloom seems to be scanning the buildings around us. It's almost as if he's sniffing the air. I wonder what's on his mind. Tell him about your obsession with Windows.
Obsession with Windows?
Winona, you know, I have this thing about Windows. Gloom, what about them? Winona, I like looking at them. Gloom, what? Winona, every window is a person, a family. People leading different lives. Winona, I think about how they're all probably so different from me, and maybe it's because they made different choices. Winona, do you regret the choices you made? Gloom, kid, I've made so many bad choices. Winona, how do you live with them? Gloom, you just do. And wish that things will get better in time. Winona, wishing is what you do when you're not trying to fix your situation. Gloom, that's cute. Did you see that on one of those posters? Winona, I don't know. Maybe. I decide not to tell him that up until 30 seconds ago, I was very proud of myself for coming up with that line. Winona, what did you do exactly? Gloom, something bad. Winona, you said that already. Gloom, it doesn't matter what I did. What matters is that this one bad choice led to problem after problem. Gloom, and I was buried in so much shit that it's taken 400 years to dig my way out. Winona, was it because of a girl? Gloom, what? Gloom, what makes you say that? Winona, Todd says that if a guy is too shy to talk about something. Winona, it's either about a girl or his dick. Winona, and since you don't have, Winona, you know, I don't know how to phrase this nicely. Winona, well, I just figured it was about a girl. Gloom. Winona, so was it a girl? Gloom, yes. Winona, what happened? Gloom, I left my wife. Winona, what? Gloom, Muriel never understood why I do the things I do. Gloom, I was a warrior. I fought injustice. I did bad things to do good. Gloom, she hated all kinds of violence and conflict. Gloom, then one day, I was about to embark on a big quest, and she refused to let me go. Winona, but you went anyway. Gloom, you know, all I ever wanted was for Muriel to be proud of me. Gloom, to understand me, and support me. Gloom, and I figured maybe she'd understand what I was doing once I was done with my quest. Gloom, but she never did. Winona, that sucks. Gloom. Gloom, that was a few centuries ago, and not a day goes by where I don't think about that key moment. Gloom, one bad decision that ruined my life forever. Winona, you didn't try to get her back. Gloom, once I realized my mistake, it was already too late. I haven't seen her since we separated. Gloom, but that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. To atone. Gloom, to earn my way into heaven, where I can see her again. Gloom, and hopefully earn her forgiveness.
But Michael is banging Muriel in heaven in his absence.
Winona, you're sure she's there? Gloom, trust me, she is. Assure him.
Yeah,
Winona,
sure.
I'm sure you'll see her again. Gloom. Winona, you're working too hard not to be rewarded. Gloom, I hope so. Winona, since you're like all supernatural and shit, can you go back in time to make a different choice? Gloom, I've tried. I found a time shaman and enlisted his help once. Winona, a time shaman? What the fuck is that? Gloom, a regular shaman communes with elemental spirits, like fire and water. Gloom, a time shaman communes with the time spirits. Winona, time spirits? How does that work? Gloom, well, you see, the time spirits. Gloom, hey, I'm not your exposition device. I've asked before and he's explained in great detail. Gloom, but I still don't understand what the stupid time spirits are. Gloom, all I know is that you can go back and relive the past, but you can't change things. Ever. Gloom, apparently, time doesn't work that way. Winona, interesting. Gloom, what? Do you want to go back in time and change something? Winona, maybe, but what? Winona, even if I could, I wouldn't know what to change. Winona, it's not that easy for me, because I didn't do anything wrong. Winona, I didn't read a forbidden book. I didn't cut a deal with the devil. Winona, I was just born as the Doombringer, and I didn't have a choice. Winona, it's so fucking unfair. Winona, and the only way I can fix this is to kill myself before it happens. Gloom, it's funny. I want to change my past, but you want to change your future. Gloom, okay, kid. Let's help you do that. Winona, we've failed 3 times already. Do you have any new ideas? Gloom, I don't, but I know where we can go. Winona, where? The library? Gloom, no. This isn't going to be solved by knowledge. Gloom, we need wisdom. We need to find Nathaniel. Gloom holds his hand out to me again. Gloom, are you ready? I take it without hesitation. Winona, let's go. There is only one place that you're likely to find Nathaniel, and the fastest way there is across the rooftops. So you travel across the city, leaping from rooftop to rooftop. It's a thrilling sensation if you've never done this before. A constant cycling between being violently thrown forwards and then free falling. Almost like controlled helplessness. It sounds like a contradiction, but it's the best way you can describe it. You worry that Winona might not be up for it? Winona, oh my god, this is so cutting. But clearly, she is enjoying the ride. Gloom, you keep saying cutting. What? Winona, oh, it means cutting edge. You say it when something is really awesome and innovative. Gloom, you kids say the weirdest things.
Yeah, I've never heard that slang before. Especially
Winona,
around the 2000s.
wow, you sound like such a cranky old guy now. Gloom, hey, I used to be young. I did cool things. Winona, dude, you look like you were born old. If Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman had a kid, it looked like you. You grumble to yourself, stopping only when you realize that grumbling is exactly what a cranky old guy would do. Winona, the city looks so different from up here. Gloom, how so? Winona, it looks so much more alive. Like you can totally see everyone moving around. Gloom, man. Winona, I think the moon looks bigger too. Gloom, it looks the same to me. Winona, no way, it's definitely bigger. It's probably because we're closer to it up here. Gloom. Gloom, that's not how it works. Winona, how high can you go? Gloom. Gloom, never high enough. Winona, I know what you mean. Winona, still, it's pretty sick from this height. I love it. You continue jumping from rooftop to rooftop as Winona screams in delight. Jump higher. Normally you're more controlled with your jumps, for stealth reasons and to conserve your strength. But just for tonight, you decide to jump higher and faster. Winona, yippee-ki-yay. Just for tonight, you decide that Winona doesn't have to be the saddest girl in the world. Winona, so who is this Nathaniel that we're going to see? Gloom, Nathaniel is the angel of wisdom. Winona, wait. Angels are real? Gloom, yes. Winona, angels, like the people with wings and halos that go around helping people? Gloom, wings, yes. Halos, no. And helping people, not all of them. Gloom, a lot of angels actually resent mortals. Winona, what? Gloom, they perceive mortals as ungrateful animals that cannot be trained. Animals that tend to destroy the world around them. Gloom, but despite this, all angels have been tasked to protect them. Winona, I can see why they'd be pissed about being forced to do this. Winona, so what you said about heaven earlier, you're being literal too? Gloom, heaven is real, and it's not a place on earth. Winona, so if heaven and angels are real, I assume there is a God. Gloom, yes. He's elusive and doesn't show his face much, but he's definitely there. Winona, and the Son of God. Gloom, yeah, he was real but you guys killed him back in the day. Winona, holy shit. I can't believe all of this is real. Gloom, you genuinely believe that you're the Doombringer, that you're going to trigger the apocalypse. Gloom, but you didn't believe in angels and heaven? Winona, I guess it's always easier to believe in all the bad shit than the good stuff, human nature. Winona bites her lip. You've noticed that she tends to do this when she's trying to figure something out. Winona, wait. Is Keanu Reeves the second coming? Gloom, Keanu. Why do you ask? Winona, everyone says he's the kindest man in the world. Plus, he has the same look as all the pictures in church. Gloom, he's not. But I agree Keanu has done a lot for humanity. Gloom, the world is full of doers and talkers. Keanu is a doer. Gloom, just Point Break alone was a huge gift to the world. Winona looks away and bites her lip again. Winona, hey, if God exists, then there must be a devil too, right? Like an ultimate being of evil. Gloom, we don't use that name, you mortals made that up. Gloom, but yes, the two of them are at war. Winona, so what's the name of the bad guy? Gloom, it's not as clear-cut as simple good versus evil. There's no good guy and bad guy. Winona, the stories make it pretty clear that it's a never-ending battle between good and evil. Gloom, and who wrote those stories? Winona, I don't know. Really old people with really old quills. Gloom, don't believe everything you read in really old books. Winona, I thought you liked old shit. Gloom, not all of it. Gloom, hold tight, we're almost there. After 20 minutes of exhilarating rooftop hopping, you arrive at your destination. A desolate skate park on the outskirts of the city. During the day, this place would be packed with skaters young and old, learning new tricks or just skating for fun. But when the sun goes down, all the skaters know that this place is off limits. Everyone knows that only one person skates this park at night. And it's not out of fear that the others vacate this park at night. Rather, it's a gesture of respect. An offering of space and tranquility to the one they call the patron saint of the lost. Winona, wait a minute, the angel of wisdom hangs out in a skate park. Gloom, this has been his lair for the past few decades, ever since he discovered skateboarding. Gloom, he says it gives him clarity. Winona, really? Clarity? Gloom, Nathaniel has his idiosyncrasies. Gloom, you can ask him about it later. Winona, are you really sure he's here right now? There's nobody here. You inspect the park, and she's right. The lights are on, but there isn't a soul in sight. However, you detect the scent of wax and burnt urethane. You reach out and touch a rail, it feels warm. Gloom, no. Someone has been skating here recently. You call out to the elusive angel. Gloom, Nathaniel. You hear a loud screeching sound overhead. As you look up to find the source of the sound, a large barn owl swoops behind you and into the shadows. Nathaniel, hello, dear friend. A large angelic figure skates past and screeches to a stop next to you and Winona. He pops up his skateboard and carries it under his arm. Perched silently on his other arm is a large barn owl. Nathaniel, it has been a long time. Gloom, a very long time. Gloom, how are you, Nathaniel? Nathaniel, I am well. Aristotle and I have been working on my blunt slides. Gloom, judging from the dents and scratches in your armor, I guess your quest has been difficult. Nathaniel, I am still getting used to the unusual hip rotation required. My natural instincts get in the way. Gloom, you'll get it. I believe in you. Nathaniel, thank you. It is always good to see you. The owl focuses its attention on Winona, who is staring wide-eyed and open-mouthed at Nathaniel. Nathaniel, does my appearance bother you, young lady? Winona, I've just never seen an angel before. Winona, how do you skate with your hood pulled so low? Can you even see clearly like that? Winona, you'll probably land your trick more easily if you weren't skating with your vision obscured, you know? Winona, skating isn't the same as playing guitar in a grunge band. You look away, embarrassed. Gloom, ERM. Nathaniel laughs gently. Nathaniel, it is a fair question, and a sensible suggestion. Nathaniel, however, the placement of my hood does not really matter as my eyes can no longer see. Winona, you skate blind. How? Nathaniel, Aristotle here acts as my eyes. I see what he sees, and he has very good vision. Winona, that is so cool. Can I pet him? Nathaniel stretches out his arm, and Winona eagerly goes over to gently stroke the owl's wing. Winona, how are you, Aristotle? You are so totally Cusack and you have the softest feathers. Now that Winona is up close, she is able to peer into Nathaniel's hood and see his injured face. Winona, what happened to your eyes? Nathaniel, I lost them in battle. Winona, it must have been epic. Nathaniel, it was not much of a fight. I am the angel of wisdom, and wisdom tells us that violence is rarely the solution to any problem. Nathaniel, thus, combat is not one of my strengths. My opponent, however, is a master of violence. Nathaniel, I am thankful I only lost my eyes that day. Winona, sorry about your eyes. Nathaniel, there is no need to apologize for something that you did not cause. It was a long time ago. Nathaniel, furthermore, I have Aristotle now. Nathaniel, magic owls aren't easy to come by, and your friend Azrael journeyed far to find him for me. Winona shoots you a look. Winona, Azrael. I thought you said your name was Gloom. Gloom, I said people call me Gloom. Nathaniel, Azrael is his true name. And that is what he was known as when he was the angel of justice. Winona, holy shit. You used to be an angel? Gloom. Nathaniel, yes, and he was a good one too. Before his fall. Winona, so all that shit about going to heaven, you're actually talking about going back home? You shrug. Winona, is Muriel a metaphor for heaven? Gloom, no, I'm not that deep. Nathaniel, and what about you, little blasphemer? What is your name? Let her answer for herself. Winona, oh, I'm Winona. Nathaniel, well met, Winona. May I ask why are you traveling in the company of an ill-tempered wraith? Winona, oh, it's a bit of a long story, but I'm kind of trying to stop something from happening. Nathaniel, and you need his help? Winona, well, I haven't been able to do it myself. Nathaniel, what do you need help with? Perhaps I can help? Winona, I need to die. Nathaniel. While you can't see Nathaniel's face, you sense that it has probably become ashen. Gloom, Nathaniel, what's Nathaniel? Gloom, Nathaniel. The owl looks at you, then at the girl. Nathaniel, Winona, have you ever tried skateboarding? Winona, a little. But I can't even ollie. Nathaniel, there is a spare board over by that ramp. You should try again. You wonder why Nathaniel is trying to send Winona away. You wonder why Nathaniel is trying to send Winona away. Don't say anything, Winona. Hey, I know you guys are just trying to get rid of me. Winona, what are you going to talk about? Gloom, we have some immortal stuff to discuss. Winona, if it's about me, I should know. Winona, come on. I'm old enough to hear it. Gloom, just give us 5 minutes. Gloom, please. Winona, okay fine. Winona, can I at least use your board? Nathaniel hesitates. Nathaniel, This board is carved using wood from Yggdrasil. Winona, YGG what? Nathaniel, the world tree. This skateboard is not meant for mortal knees. Winona, I'm sure it's just a regular department store skateboard. Winona, I've seen that panda bear graphic before, and it wasn't on some mythical skateboard. Nathaniel, please just use the other board. Winona, okay. Winona reluctantly walks over to the other skateboard. She hops onto it and starts skating around the park. Nathaniel's owl twists its head around to watch Winona. It isn't long before she loses her balance and falls on her butt. Winona, I'm okay. You turn back to Nathaniel. Gloom, so what do you know about this girl? Nathaniel, Gabriel told me that he foresaw the fall of heaven. Nathaniel, it happens because of a being known as the Doombringer. Gloom, Winona. You've got to be shitting me. Gloom, that kid over there is going to bring down heaven? Gloom, I wouldn't be able to breach the gates even if I had an entire legion of demons. Gloom, how is she going to do it? Nathaniel, I do not know. But it was foreseen by Gabriel. Gloom, she's an innocent kid. Nathaniel, totally free of corruption. Gloom, even Michael admits this. Gloom, I don't believe that she'll do this. Nathaniel, the person she is now may not be the person she is in the future. Nathaniel, people change, you know this better than anyone else. Gloom, Michael wants me to kill her, you know. Gloom, the Archangel of Righteousness put a hit on an innocent, totally sinless kid. Nathaniel, Michael will stop at nothing to protect heaven. You look over to Winona. Winona, ugh. She is trying so hard to land an ollie, but it's still beyond her. Still, she keeps getting back up onto the skateboard. Gloom, the kid's got spunk. Nathaniel, she does. Winona notices you looking and waves to you. You wave back, and she starts skating again. Gloom, do you agree with Michael? Nathaniel, do you? No, Michael is wrong. Gloom, Michael is wrong. Gloom, the kid doesn't deserve a death sentence for something she hasn't done. Nathaniel, you are right, this is not how we should work. Nathaniel, we angels are supposed to bring hope from the heavens. Gloom, you may not know her yet. Nathaniel, Gloom, but this girl is so good-hearted that she should be the first on the list to get into heaven. Gloom, nevertheless, it's something I have to do. Gloom, because she wants to die, you know. Gloom, I didn't hunt her down. She came looking for me. Gloom, do you know she spends a lot of her time trying to figure out how to kill herself? Nathaniel, that seems like an odd hobby. Gloom, for some reason, she can't die. Gloom, you can't detect the slightest trace of demonic corruption within her either, can you? Nathaniel, no, I cannot. Gloom, yet she can't die, at least not through normal methods. Gloom, so she came looking for me, to try a supernatural death. Nathaniel, did she tell you why she wants to die? Gloom, same reason Michael wants her dead. To protect the world. Gloom, she has nightmares of the apocalypse every single night. Nathaniel, she is young, but she has had a hard life. Gloom, death would be a release from her guilt, right? Nathaniel thinks for a moment. His owl turns to face you. Nathaniel, you do not believe that, so why are you considering this action? Gloom, Michael has promised to grant me salvation after this. Nathaniel, is that what you really want? Gloom, to return to heaven? Of course, Nathaniel, why, is real. What awaits you back there? Gloom, I can be back together with our old friends again. Be back home where I belong. Gloom, be with Muriel. Nathaniel, a lot of things have changed since you were an angel. Nathaniel, you took the side of the morning star when she turned against the big boss. Nathaniel, You've fought against many angels, and you always win. You've even slain many of them. You notice Nathaniel's peculiar choice of pronoun and the implied distance between him and the other angels. Did something happen with him? Is this why he spends so much time skating in the mortal realm? Nathaniel, you must understand, you are not going to be welcomed and accepted as easily as before. Gloom, they might if I kill the Doombringer. Nathaniel, you have been Michael's rogue angel of death for hundreds of years now. Nathaniel, how many demons have you slain? Gloom, I've killed quite a few. Nathaniel, more than when you were the angel of justice? Gloom, maybe. I don't really keep count. Nathaniel, you are doing a lot of good then. What is life like as a rogue angel of death? Gloom, it's a little bit lonely, I guess. I have a lot of free time between Michael's tasks. Nathaniel, how many of your old friends have visited you during this time? That question cuts deep into your heart. You have not seen or spoken to any of the angels for a long time. Except for Gloom, does Michael count? Nathaniel, firstly, Michael sees you only to give you tasks. Secondly, Michael is nobody's friend. Nathaniel, I do not know what exactly it is you truly seek, but I doubt you will find it by going back upstairs. Nathaniel, you cannot go home again, Azrael. You think about Nathaniel's words. As usual, he makes a lot of sense. He's the angel of wisdom, after all. You're right, but what about the prophecy? Gloom, sure, but what about the prophecy? Gloom, we can't let the Doombringer bring down heaven. Nathaniel, I am not certain her death is the only way to defeat the Doombringer threat. Nathaniel, she is just too frightened to try other solutions. Gloom, that girl isn't afraid of anything, Nathaniel. Look at all she's done. She's fearless. Nathaniel, you are focusing on the behavior, and you have missed the emotion driving the behavior. Gloom, what do you mean? Nathaniel, no doubt she is brave, but her bravery is not driving her actions. Her fear is what drives her. Nathaniel, she is so afraid of becoming the Doombringer that she is immediately seeking the ultimate solution. Nathaniel, I can sense the child respects you. Nathaniel, show her that she can defeat the shadow of the Doombringer without resorting to suicide. Gloom, and defy Michael? Nathaniel, this would not be your first time doing so. Gloom, I'll think about it. Nathaniel, if wisdom was not what you were seeking, then why did you come to see me? Gloom, I need to know how to kill her. The kid is unkillable. Nathaniel, a dark power protects her. Nathaniel, it must be suppressed before you can kill her. Gloom, we went to a church and it wasn't enough. Nathaniel, perhaps you need to, as the mortals say, pump up the volume and gleam the cube. Gloom, I have to take her into heaven. Nathaniel, the light there will suppress any dark power that protects her. Gloom, well that's great. The only way a mortal can enter heaven is after they die. Gloom, and she can't die until I bring her into heaven first. Gloom, if this paradox isn't bad enough, I can't enter heaven either because I've been banished. Both you and Nathaniel stare at the ground in silence. Nathaniel, there is still hope, Azrael. Nathaniel, the mortals decreed this year as the Great Jubilee. You immediately understand Nathaniel's hint. Gloom, the holy doors. Nathaniel, indeed. But you only have a few days before they close. Nathaniel, I suggest you take the time to decide if this is truly something you want to do. Gloom, there are 365 days in this year. Of course, this quest lands on me when I only have days to spare. Nathaniel, or it could have come to you next week when it is already too late. Nathaniel, it is simply a matter of perspective, Azrael. Gloom, I have to kill a kid to go to heaven. Gloom, from what perspective is that not ironic? Both you and Nathaniel suddenly hear the unmistakable sound of an ollie being landed. You look over and you see Winona skating excitedly towards you. Winona, Gloom. I landed an ollie. Gloom, that's great. We both heard it loud and clear. Winona, I've been trying, and I was totally sucking. Winona, then all of a sudden it just pops and I landed so cleanly. Nathaniel, Aristotle saw it, and it was indeed a glorious ollie. Winona, it was such a rush. Winona, I was just like, Winona, Winona, holy shit. Whoa. Gloom, I'm proud of you, kid. Before you can react, Winona throws her arms around you and gives you a hug. Winona, I should have tried harder earlier. Winona, there are so many tricks I want to learn now. Nathaniel, it is not too late. There will be plenty of opportunities. Winona pauses, and the joy melts away from her face. Winona, no. No, there won't be. Winona, there is something more important that we have to do. Winona, did you guys figure out how to kill me? Your smile fades away too. Gloom, yes we did. I will tell you more on the way back to your home. Winona, thanks, Nathaniel. It was nice meeting you. Nathaniel, the pleasure is all mine, little blasphemer. Nathaniel, you are welcome to visit Aristotle and me anytime, with or without your grumpy companion. Nathaniel, and you can keep the skateboard. Winona, sweet. Winona receives Nathaniel's spare skateboard. Gloom, let's go. Gloom, take care, Nathaniel. Nathaniel, be well, old friend. Winona, I'm going to hit that ramp one more time. Winona skates off. You start to follow her, but you turn around for one more question. Gloom, Nathaniel. Nathaniel, yes, Gloom. Never mind, Nathaniel, she misses you too, he's real. Gloom, thanks, Nathaniel, but as your friend and the embodiment of wisdom, I urge you to move on from the past. Nathaniel, focus on the present, and what is happening right now is you have a little girl in need of help. Nathaniel, help her. Guide her with some wisdom. Gloom, I will talk to her. Nathaniel, please do. May God's force be with you, Azrael.
Ooh, the secret character.
In another part
And we
of
will
town,
get into this
Lucia
next
enjoys a
time.
chai
This seems
latte
like a
while
good place
waiting
to
on the
call for
top
now.
floor of a parking
So,
garage.
till next time, later.
Save. Save slot 4, Thursday November. Save.